Alrighty traders, let's have a market update. Let's go straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, before we get started, make sure if you haven't done so yet guys, I'm giving away free access to that trading course on the screen right now. You can see all the amazing incredible education. You're literally getting it for free guys. So that very first link in the description, or go to johnsfreegift.com and you can register and you can get free access to that trading course guys. So go over there right now and start to get the help for free. If you're losing money right now, or you need a really good trading system, or you're making a lot of mistakes, you know, which it's all in the trading course to help you out. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on across the markets today guys. So we can see that if we zoom in on the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq is squeezing up. This squeezing up in the triangle pattern, and when the breakout happens, it's going to be big. Now, the big caveat on what I've just said there is when the breakout happens, it's going to be big. We just don't know where the breakout. Remember, a breakout is breaking out, either up or either down, right? So it's breaking out of this pattern through here. If indeed we do break up and out of this level here, okay, if indeed we do something like this and we start to break up, especially if we start to break above these highs here and we something like that, that tells me then probably November and December are going to be very, very, very bullish months for the rest of this year, okay, for the Nasdaq this is, okay? But the but scenarios is this. If the market does hold here for some reason, and for some reason we start to roll over and we break this level here, then I could see this thing getting down towards the, on a bare minimum basis, I would say around the, probably, if I'm just going back in time, the sort of the support levels that I'm noticing here are down through there. So around about there, and there's major levels of support through there. So possibly around through there, maybe even more, but on a sort of a bare minimum basis around that 13,000 level through there. That's that one level there, but we also have another major level around that 13,000 level there. So it looks like to me it looks like every 500. So 16,000 was a resistance, 14,500 was a support. So that tells me then the next level of target should be, so up there for 14,500. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'd have to say around 13,000. As you can see, right? I'm just using the 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So you can see they're the same distance there. So that's the resistance there. If it does end up if we do end up breaking down out of this level here, we're probably going to go for a movement on the downside to around about that level there. So we need to be careful of that. We need to be aware of that pattern forming in the markets from there, right? Look at the S&P 500 and the S&P 500, as we can see, right? We can see how the markets had a bit of a rally to the upside, but then we are right at this level of resistance here. So the S&P is actually a lot different, right? So we've actually got a rally up, but we are in actually a slight downward trend here, right? Down, we've got a lower high and another down and then another move up, right? So we are in a downward trend through here. We're right at this level of resistance around the 4,400 level. So we're right at that level through there. What actually comes next here? Because same thing for the Nasdaq. If we get something like that, then rolling over, then especially we do get something like that, then we could be seeing a lot more downside to come. Yeah, possibly then something like that. Or if this is going to hold and we start to break above the 50% level, the 61.8, the resistance. If we start to do something like this, then we know that this whole thing is what? One big massive V bottom. Then we're probably going to start to do something like that in the markets. Make sense? So that's what I'm seeing through there on the S&P 500. Looking at the Dow Jones as well too. Dow Jones is pretty much doing something really similar to the S&P, but the Dow Jones is a lot weaker, right? Down 50% Fibonacci, 60% Fibonacci, and then also a lot of resistance and support there. Now the Fibonacci is not really that important guys, but it does show a lot of resistance through there of where we're at right now. And we are, because one of the reasons why I like to use Fibonacci is this here, right? We go from the low to the high, right? From the high to the low. If we do end up finding a lot of, if the market has a problem breaking past these levels here, then and as you can see, then we're likely to make another move on the downside. That's the reason why I like to use Fibonacci's. So the same thing for here, right? I'm using from the high to the low. If the market does start to do what? If the market does start to do something like this, rally up, rally up, rally up, then guess what? Then we're probably likely to do something like this, and then away we go from up there. Okay, so that's actually what I'm seeing through there. Let's go look at the oil market, and oil's having a bit of a pullback through here, which was expected. Which was expected, guys. We can see here from a real big picture perspective. Okay, we're getting a real strong pullback through here on oil, but we are still in a very strong upward trend through here, guys. So trying to short this market right now might be a bit risky, only because we're still in a very strong upward trend. And if I let me just show you this here, because you know what, I'll do that a bit later on in the video. So so we can see the low level through here, and then up and then back down. So we could just be holding here, right, before we get going, and before we see another move back to the upside. Let's go look at the dollar index. Dollar index has done what? An astronomical move to the upside. Bam, 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 bam. Now look what's happening. What is happening now? Now we're getting what? Now we're probably going to get another big pullback through here, right? And so, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, the dollar's going down, that means gold's going to go up, right? Not necessarily. Gold went through, the dollar went through an extraordinary bull market since July, where gold hasn't been doing that, right? So try not to go from, oh, well, the dollar's going down, so I'm going to go long the gold market. You don't want to be doing that from there, okay? So that's what I'm seeing through there, but the dollar very strong, and you would expect some form of a pullback, or at least a bit of sideways movement, because we've done a very big up movement from there. Let's go look at the mining sector now, guys. And the mining sector, very strong, right? Very strong movement out of this level through here. We are starting to get a very strong movement up, but guess what, guys? What are we, right? We're still what? We are still in this downward trend, aren't we? Here's that high point through there, right? And then we have this sort of equal high point through here as well too, right? So a bit of a double top, lower high compared to this high here. Lower high, and now we're rolling down. So this could be some form of a lower high again before we roll over again. If we do start to break above these highs through here, so this will be the line in the sand for me, okay? If the market does break above these highs up here, so above the $30 level on the GDX, then we're probably going to start to see a really nice upward trend from here, and then we're probably going to start to see a really nice movement up from there. So that's what I'm seeing through there from the mining sector perspective. GDXJ, same sort of thing. Look at this here, major level of support. So if the GDXJ does start to see a movement up towards, say, the $36 level, this is going to be one big massive false breakout, and then we're probably likely to see a really strong movement back to the upside. Let's go to the SIL. SIL, same sort of thing, same sort of situation, but we are in a very strong downward trend, guys. So even though I'm saying, like on the GDXJ, like if we do get that, we're going to see a big move up. We are in a downward trend, right? And this could just be what? This could just be another one of those lower highs coming into play, right? We could be getting something like that soon, and are rolling over from there. Same for the SILJ, same thing, right? Look what we have here. We have right there, and there, right? We could be also be getting that there, right? So high, lower high, as you can see, right? And then also we're getting what? Another lower high here as well too. High, lower high. And so this is the problem, right? Like this is the problem when trying to trade. When the market starts to go up from here and we're in a downward trend, is it gonna be the bottom? We never know, right? And a lot of the times it's not. Then lower high, rally, or the bottom's in, lower high, break down, come back up, or the bottom's in, right? So the most smartest thing to do is just wait for the trend to start to go on the upside, meaning we start to get some higher lows and stuff like that. Moving on now through to silver, and silver's doing the exact same thing, right? Look at this here. So silver's still in this downward trend through here. So if we do, we would need to see silver get above, say, this $23 level. If we can start to get back above 23, then that could be start to see a lot of bullish tone within the silver market. Let's go look at gold right now. And gold, very, very, very strong movement to the upside, right at that 50% level there, and the 60%, which is also that level of support around 1900. If indeed we do start to see a movement up from here, guys, like that, then that's probably gonna be a big massive V bottom in place. Then we're probably gonna pull back here to create that higher low, and then away we go from there. So there we go, guys. Bit of an update for you traders. If you do need some help, then I've opened up some spots to my 12-month private coaching program. This is where you are coached by me every single day for the next 12 months. If you are interested in that, then that second link in the description, click on that. Go fill out the application form, book a time for us to call, and I will call you and I'll speak to you real soon.